Miami Vice is the greatest TV show ever made. The influence and impact that it had on the 80s, pop culture, and the future of television was massive and on a level never seen before. Nor has there ever been a show that managed to replicate the success of Miami Vice and literally define an entire decade.
We've got plenty of time.
License and registration?
We were just trying to get home to watch Miami Vice.
Get out of here. That's the best excuse I've heard all day.
My favorite story about MTV that also perfectly illustrates the channel's impact on the decade is how they heavily inspired Miami Vice, one of the greatest TV shows ever made and certainly the one and only that dominated the 80s harder than any other show. Imagine TV's equivalent to Michael Jackson and Thriller. It was huge and for good reason. The idea was to create a show that represented the spirit of MTV. It was supposed to be fast-paced with good-looking characters, action, and most importantly, an amazing soundtrack. Originally, it was also aimed at a younger audience since MTV was playing music that parents often didn't like or understand, but Miami Vice quickly grew into a cultural phenomenon. It was also the first TV show to feature contemporary music, especially that which you could hear on MTV or in the charts, which ended up helping promote and sell a lot of songs and records to the point of artists actively doing their best for their songs to be featured on Miami Vice.
Turn it on, leave it on. I want my MTV.
I want my MTV.
I want my MTV.
See new video music you can't see anywhere else. New interviews, new concerts, new guests,
DJ?
new specials. There's always something new on MTV, 24 hours a day on cable TV.
Too much.
Yeah, too much.
Never.
Too much is never enough.
People even started joking that the show was about to replace MTV because a lot of new artists and bands were being discovered by the masses through Miami Vice. If you had your song featured in one or even a couple of episodes, you were almost guaranteed to have a hit single or album. Even already established musicians such as Phil Collins, who was massive at the time, had his sales and popularity boosted because of the show's use of his songs and even having him appear as a guest star.
What's this? I mean, what's this? 6 of you, eh? My heart's not gonna take.
When In the Air Tonight played for the first time, coupled with Sonny and Tubbs driving the Ferrari through a dark, neon-drenched night, getting ready for something that feels like the last shootout they will ever be part of, viewers' minds were blown off. I mean, this was the pilot episode, and yet it felt like an actual high-budget movie.
I trusted you. God, I trusted you, you bastard! I trusted you!
This was unheard of at the time. Sure, TV shows did license songs from time to time, but never modern ones and almost always oldies. On Miami Vice you could hear the latest and greatest mixed with great and highly stylized visuals and a story that had gangsters, cocaine, and undercover cops.
Artie, they think you've gone over.
I don't want you or anybody else to question my methods.
That's of course not to say that other TV shows at the time, or even before Vice, didn't have very good storytelling or great visuals. Some of my personal favorites are Magnum PI and Knight Rider.
A shadowy flight into the dangerous world of a man who does not exist.
Both have fun stories and awesome characters. Magnum PI in particular has always been a comfort show to me because it has this warm and inviting atmosphere, despite also not shying away from talking or showing some pretty dark and violent subject matter. But unlike those shows, Miami Vice was highly stylized and much more in touch with reality and the modern world. On one hand, it was aimed at young adults and the younger demographic in general because it was very pop culture and action focused. Beautiful, hot women, fast cars, gangsters, modern music, and great fashion. But on the other hand, it could get really dark. The show overall, at least in the early seasons, always had humor and some lighter moments and characters to balance things out. Because when the show did get dark, it got really dark and heavy. They had zero issues in showing some very fucked up stories, talk about politics or criticize police and government corruption. It was groundbreaking at the time, not only because of its style, but also because of its subject matter.
Put me in a situation, I'm going through soft commutation.
Miami at the time had some serious issues with drugs, gang wars, and corruption. Miami Vice didn't just invent those things, and a few years before the show came out, you also had movies such as Scarface talk about it. It was a big problem that affected the city and also one of the reasons why cocaine was so popular in the 80s. It was everywhere, and the music business was affected the most by it as half the rock and pop bands and musicians were running on cocaine.
Freeze! Down on your face! Miami Vice! Down on your face! Face the nation!
This is what a long, hard shooting schedule does to a couple of TV cops. Don Johnson and Philip Michael Thomas are the cool, sexy, streetwise partners of NBC's Miami Vice.
Come on. These are the guys! These are the guys! Go ahead, speak for us, guys. These are the guys. This is it.
It was unlike anything that came before because of how much style the show had. It was drenched in neon colors and bright pastels, so much so that this style, be it the fashion, the neon, or the various filming techniques, are still popular in use today. It never really went away. To this day, Miami Vice remains the most influential TV show ever made. They changed the 80s in drastic ways and left a mark on pop culture that no other show has been able to recreate.
Double feature starring Glenn Frey and Bruce Willis. The Miami Vice-a-thon starts Tuesday, only on Channel 9.